A 60-year-old man is taken aback when a complete stranger approaches him in a restaurant and accuses him of being a cheater, leading him to uncover that he has several siblings. Philip Granger concludes that he must have one of those faces that people find familiar, as he has been mistaken for other men for as long as he can remember. While his wife finds him handsome, it offers little comfort when others perceive him as ordinary. The situation escalates when Philip, now 60, is out to dinner with his wife, Maura, celebrating a successful business deal at one of their favorite restaurants. As he holds her hand and leans in for a kiss, a woman unexpectedly approaches them. "So you had to work tonight," she screamed. "You had an emergency surgery? You cheat. We are over." She dashed her glass of wine in Philip's face and walked off. Philip mopped up the red wine with his napkin and shook his head. "I'm sorry, honey," he said to Mara. "I don't know what's going on." But Mara was on her feet, following the woman out of the restaurant. "Excuse me," Mara said when she caught up with the woman. "Please, can you tell me what's going on? Who are you?" The woman asked angrily. "His girlfriend?" "No," Mara replied. "I'm his wife." "He's married," the woman cried. "I swear it's the last time I date a doctor. Dr. Ralph Go. I should have known." "My husband's name is Philip Granger," Mara said, "and he's not a doctor." The woman looked embarrassed. "Oh my God," she gasped. "But he looks exactly like Ralph, like a twin." By the time the woman left, Mara had Dr. Ralph Go's phone number. "Listen, Phil," she said, "this is very strange. That woman said this Ralph looks exactly like you, like a twin. You were adopted, so maybe this guy is your twin." Philly was excited. He had grown up in a loving home, but his life had always felt empty, as if something was missing. Now, the idea of a twin seemed to resonate in his heart. That was what was missing, a sibling. "He may be just a lookalike," Philip protested, but he allowed Mara to talk him into phoning Ralph and setting up a meeting. "Hello," he said. "You don't know me. My name is Philip Granger, and I think we look alike." That very afternoon, Phil and Ralph met, and it was like looking into a mirror. They were identical, and after a short conversation, they discovered that they were both adopted, born at the same hospital on the same day. The two men couldn't stop laughing, crying, and hugging each other. Ralph had never married, his parents were deceased, and finding a brother was a dream come true. Then Ralph said, "Hey Phil, we can find our mother. We were born at the hospital where I work, and I know they've put all their records into the computers. All I have to do is punch in our birth date." The two men rushed to the hospital, where Ralph led his newfound twin to his office and accessed the hospital records. "Easy as pie," he cried excitedly. Then Phil saw his brother's face turn white as snow. "Ralph," he asked, "are you okay? Did you find her?" Ralph looked up at Phil with huge glazed eyes and nodded dumbly. "Come on, what's her name?" Phil cried impatiently. "Janet Corbin," he whispered. "But Phil, that's great," Phil said, grinning. "So what's the problem?" "There's 5 of us," Ralph gasped. Phil and Ralph took a selfie together and posted it on their Instagram accounts, telling their story and appealing to anyone who thought they looked like someone they knew to come forward and help them find their brothers. The messages flooded in, and soon Ralph and Phil met Tom and Gordon. Their reunion was incredible. They were all identical. Maura told Phil that seeing him with his brothers made her feel dizzy. "Phil," she said quietly, "I've never felt so happy or complete in my life, but there's still one of us missing." The 4 brothers took another selfie and repeated their appeal. By then, their story had gone national, with TV stations calling them for interviews. Then one evening, the missing brother appeared, but he wasn't alone. Ralph, Phil, Tom, and Gordon were having dinner at Phil's house when the doorbell rang. Maura got up to answer it. She came back with a huge smile on her face. "Who was it?" asked Phil. "Actually," said Maura, "it's you." She stepped aside so the 4 men could see the last quintuplet, who was exactly like his brothers. "This is David." David walked into the middle of his brothers, but he wasn't alone. By his side was a tiny elderly woman. "This," David said, "is Mom." The woman had tears in her eyes. "I'm Janet Corbin," she said, "and I'm so sorry. So sorry." Janet shared that she was only 16 when she became pregnant, and the birth of quintuplets filled her with fear. Under pressure from her mother, she made the heart-wrenching decision to give away 4 of the babies, keeping just one to raise. Despite this, she never forgot her sons. Now, nearly 60 years later, her family was finally reunited, bringing healing to them all. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.